Hi everyone, I'm Dean Ramsay, I'm Principal Analyst at TMForum. I'm here in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress 2022. I'm on the Comviva booth with Jens in face-to-face meetings.
Yes, different experience after 2 years of home office.
No more Zoom calls for us this week. But so what are the key themes that you're looking at for Mobile World Congress this year with the BlueMarble portfolio?
We see besides the pure product capabilities, we see agility, scalability, modularity as being some of the big topics because we see so many things evolving in the industry, from creating partner ecosystems, 5G slicing monetization, customer experience, and there are so many different aspects that operators are looking at that sort of really becoming very modular, very flexible in addressing them is sort of a key thing, and that's what BlueMarble actually is designed to, around sort of the TMForum data models, the TMForum APIs, which gives us sort of the framework of really being very easy to adapt to specific situations and the needs of the customers that we see.
I think that part of the whole ecosystem is becoming a real focus for operators at the moment, and the commerce platform, how it links with order management, how it links with the rest of the BSS, using data as the kind of lifeblood of that part of the BSS. BlueMarble seems to have all of those kind of, I hesitate to say buzzwords, but all of the kind of modern features of that kind of solution. Are you hearing that resonating with your
Yes, that's exactly what we see, like moving on from pure connectivity and connectivity services to including partner services, whether it's on the consumer side, and typical examples today are obviously streaming services, TV services that sort of create bundles around it. That's where sort of we're working on the consumer side, but also then on the network side, on the enterprise side, to include network functions, creating 5G offerings for enterprises, up to 5G slicing, where you sort of pull together a number of components, a number of solution contributions, and then create that into a package that is sort of a value proposition towards your enterprise customers.
And the product catalog is kind of at the center of all this. It seems that as a concept within telecoms has been around for a while, but it's really coming to prominence now as kind of like a key way of defining business offerings and making sure that the characteristics set there can be pushed down into the stacks below that.
Now that's where we've seen. I mean, there was a lot of, I think, discussion around product catalogs, but now we really see this to come to life because of the requirement of modeling very different things in the product catalog, and that's where the TMForum specifications and data models really help because they give sort of the guidance of how to model things, but there's still the flexibility to model all kind of different things, whether it's really consumer products or 5G slices or even totally telco unrelated things. They all fit into the same framework, and then you can use the open APIs to expose these capabilities to different front-end applications. That's what we're doing in terms of enabling from the traditionally assisted channels like agents to still traditionally like web shops and mobile apps, but also now moving into new kind of chatbot things. And I think one of the keywords also on Mobile World Congress was the metaverse, where everybody is like looking really like a virtualized environment, and we see that the APIs really enable us to sort of serve all of these channels and touch points in a consistent way.
So talking about business models that are I won't say unusual, but they're not the typical kind of human consumer or human-based business model. What about IoT? I mean, how do we have to evolve our attitude towards a commerce solution and order management and product catalog and all those things to deal with machines rather than human customers?
Yeah, I think that becomes really important because we see sort of the enterprise business models also moving away from sort of pure connectivity, and especially if you look at things like 5G slicing, where you have the concepts of 5G slice with all the parameters standardized, but selling it to an enterprise is probably where you need to create a proposition that not only consists of connectivity or the specific slice, but again, partner products, whether it's devices, specific services that sort of create a bundle from virtual reality, augmented reality, where you sort of combine the bandwidth, the latency, to the headset to create a, for example, gaming experience, and then you package this to sell that to a gaming service provider, or you sell this to a event company or to a sports stadium operator that sort of gives a premium experience to their customers, and they are not looking at the technical details of the slice, but rather having a package of that. Again, sort of where you need to sort of put all this together into a product catalog where you sort of look at it from a commercial perspective, exposing it to sort of a sales point where they can sort of subscribe to that, and whether it's the enterprise or also their consumers then sort of can subscribe to, and you have really a package to the enterprise to sell.
Well, that's certainly in line with what we're seeing in our research. We've recently done a large operator survey talking about, you know, where's the money going to be, where's it going, revenues coming from, you know, new revenues, not just revenues that are kind of cannibalizing old services. And so I think that lots of those IoT opportunities that you mentioned are things that operators are focusing on, and you know, even on the consumer side, because it's often the forgotten part of the IoT space. So tell me a little bit about your partnership with IBM.
Now with IBM, we sort of work together in terms of creating. They have, or we work together in creating sort of a telco reference architecture, and that from the IBM perspective is really sort of the complete network virtualization infrastructure, and we provide exactly that sort of commerce product catalog component on top of that sort of exposes all the capabilities towards either consumers or, as said, to enterprises, and really enable taking the capabilities that are in that environment to market and to commercialization. And sort of it basically has three layers. One is the pure cloud infrastructure, so certifying the whole our whole solution on IBM Red Hat OpenShift, so it really is very easy to deploy on such a cloud environment. The second is then, as I said, like integrating that in the telco reference architecture, and the third level is really creating packages, whether it's sort of on a consumer sales, which we then, or on enterprise sales in virtualized networks, for example, which we can then very quickly bring to market and to clients as a package from the cloud infrastructure to the components to the interface to sell the whole thing.
You know, that I think within the collaboration groups within TMForum, that's something that we're seeing that operators are kind of specifying as a desirable thing. This idea of partnerships with specialists in certain functional areas, and it's, you know, rather than the days of monolithic single vendor solutions, the open API system allows for all that to happen and the data to smoothly move around the system.
And that has helped us actually in doing the real technical integration, is having the TMForum open APIs on both sides. So we knew exactly what we were talking about. We knew how things had to look like, and that made it very easy for us to sort of pass things from, for example, our commerce platform driven by our product catalog into a IBM order management, to then sort of drive it further down into sort of deploying it in the network.
Right. Well, it all sounds like great stuff. I hope you have an interesting rest of the show. And, here all week.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.